represent your club or just a player that you really like over at Club Vector. The link can be found down below. We also take requests for new names and shirts. My Twitter can be found down below. And if you'd rather get your coins direct rather than roll the dice with FIFA points, head to u7buy.com and at checkout use the code TVM for a discount. The link can be found down below. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another player review. I was deliberating whether to bother doing this or not, but I unlocked it. I had a couple of games, and there's definitely a discussion point. In fact, I didn't actually plan on doing a full-blown review. What I'm going to do on the channel from now on is if most silver players in particular, but if there's a player that like from the team of the week, for example, I've not really reviewed any of them this year, and the reason is they're just not that great. But what I've decided to do now is just to pick up the ones that look kind of half interesting and do like very short 4-minute, 5-minute reviews on them as opposed to the 8-10 minute reviews that we normally have. However, when it came to Romarinho and I was playing through and scoring goals and getting assists and just playing in general, I was actually reviewing Kleiber as well, the right back. I'd kind of finished it, but I thought I'd have a few more games just to get a sort of understanding of him. Romarinho kept doing things worthy of putting it in the video. So he'd either pop up with a really good dribble, or he'd score a goal, or get an assist, or he'd do something. And I think, you know what, got to talk about that. So I'll write it down. And then when I came to edit the whole thing, there were enough clips here for a really long video. And there's definitely enough to talk about because it's one of those really weird cards that on paper, in areas looks really good, in other areas looks absolutely dreadful, but in game somehow plays very well, and he was up against gold cards. I wasn't playing in a silver mode, as I mentioned earlier. I was reviewing Kleiber. He's an 85 rated right back, so we can't play in the silver lounge. We have to play against other gold players or gold cards, and I did so in classic match. I wasn't going to go into the likes of, well, I definitely didn't want to go into one league. Having to use that league would have been a little bit difficult, but didn't want to go into like one nation or anything like that because A, I didn't want to like disrupt anyone else's run on the icon tokens, and B, people play ultra competitive in those modes. And also, if you concede a goal, people then will, press pause and it disrupts, and if I score a goal, they tend to leave. It gets a little bit like, well, can't really get to grips with the card, so I had to go into classic match. But that's made it even harder, really, because people play with their full teams in co-op in classic match. So anyway, we haven't even gone through any of the stats. I've just talked absolute nonsense for the best part of 2.5 minutes. The team we've got him in is this one right here. As you can see, Kleiber at right back. It's not the worst of teams in the world, but it's definitely not the best. There are a few players that I say that. That is a very good team, but my bench is just oozing quality, and I've benched all of them for Romarinho to get him in there on chem, and that's the first, not issue, but just the first talking point, I would say. The chemistry. Obviously, very good nation links, but league links, forget about it. Unless you've got an icon or two, or you use certain Brazilian players, you are going to find it very difficult to get him into a team. Straight away, before we start talking about anything else, I want to talk to you about the one thing that really annoyed me about the card, and you've already seen evidence of it, and you're about to see it again, and maybe I could have squared that. His finishing is some of the most inconsistent finishing I have ever used in any FIFA. 1 minute, he can score an absolute beauty, and the next minute he misses a sitter, and I'm putting it down to the composure being 73, because his finishing is 83, which is not bad, right? For a silver in particular, that's very good. And I know that these are silvers, but they're not silvers, if that makes sense. So, like, yes, he's a 74 rated inform, but EA have boosted him to what, like, is an 82, 83 rated card. And that's what they do with all these silver lounge players. And that's awesome, and I like it. But this guy's composure is so far behind where it needs to be at this point that he's just very temperamental. Like, we can get into a really good position, and it's almost a guaranteed goal sometimes, and he just completely fluffs his lines. The other thing is with his passing as well. His passing on paper, again, not very good. 78 short passing, and he's got 72 vision. Look at this. Look at that for a finish. On his weak foot, no less. And his weak foot is a 3-star. And he puts that away. But then in the very next clip, and I don't know if this is true, but in the next clip, he's going to miss a sitter. And I've just put it down to that. He might just be an assist, actually. Well, it is an assist, and then Maradona misses a sitter. But you get the idea. You'll see it at some point. He will miss, and you've probably seen it already. He will miss a sitter. And he can score from an acute angle on his left foot, but then he can get in one-on-one with his right and he can't put it past the goalkeeper. It is very, very frustrating. Now, if you take that out of his game, he is very fun to use. Brazilian in every sense of the word. It's a shame he doesn't have 5-star skills, but some of the things this guy can do on the ball, I mean, that right there. I mean, I know that's the left foot, but that right there is a sitter. All he needs to do is just guide it over the keeper, and he has done, but he's missed the target. Maradona off the line. This guy, by the way, was the luckiest son of a gun I've ever played. He managed to somehow get the ball off the line with every defender. It was so frustrating. There is a goal that I scored with Romarinho that made me tingle a little bit, I won't lie to you. It was a really good goal. He's very good at doing that. The little push past the defenders gets taken out quite easily. I know you can do that with a lot of players, but it's very effective with him. His free kicks are good. Only 78 free kick accuracy, but of course with the chem style that we have, it's 88 free kick accuracy. And his stamina is very good, especially for a silver. That's something you always worry about when you use silvers. Ryan Shirky yesterday, for example, in that silver video that I did, I love that guy. I think he's a very good player, but his stamina is awful. Look at that for a bit of dribbling. Round 3 defenders, beats the goalkeeper. Good finishing there, not a problem at all. Very next clip. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen. Honestly, I'll put my money on it. This is him missing a sitter. Probably isn't, right? But he plays into Maradona. He's going to get it back, is he? Yes, he is. Oh, look, he's in on goal. What's he going to do with it? Misses a sitter. Of course he does. Anyone else scores that. Romarinho, nah, you're all right. I'll score the really difficult ones. What's he going to do here? Well, I had to pass it. And that's kind of where it comes to. You know, that's the kind of situation you've got with Romarinho. Really good card, especially for a silver. And against other silvers, he's going to tear them to pieces, honestly. He's a superb player against other silvers, I'm sure. Because there aren't going to be any silver defenders, or not many silver defenders anyway, that can cope with his dribbling, with his ability. So, yeah, bear that in mind. This card was kind of built to be played against other silvers, but I am playing against gold cards here, and he is more than capable of scoring goals now and again, getting assists galore, and dribbling past people as if they're not even there. I wish he had 5-star skills, and obviously I wish his composure was a little bit better, but to be fair, on the whole, is it worth your time sort of working towards this? I think so. I think you need, 10 goals, 6 assists, 3 wins in Silver Lounge. It's there for a week. People are still doing that 1 goal leave, which is very irritating when you need to score 10 goals. I won't lie to you, because it means you're going to need to play more games than should be necessary, really. You may get the odd opponent. I didn't, but you may get the odd opponent who is also looking for goals and is willing to stay there, maybe even willing to score a few own goals, so then you can reciprocate. And of course, you get the goals yourself. I don't know whether you actually need to score them or whether own goals are going to count there. You'd have to look into that yourselves. I'm really not sure. But is it worth your time? Honestly, I think so. I really enjoyed it. And if you like building silver teams and you do actually like playing in Silver Lounge, or maybe you just like a bit of a challenge, why not indeed? Let me know what you think of the card in the comments section down below. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.